So I'm going to talk to you about the Hermetic Rosicrucian initiate science of alchemy, okay? That is the mental transmutation of attitudes. And this is the most effective and most substantial, most practical and fundamental and absolute way to raise our vibration to help us reach ascension and awakening, or just to have a healthier, happier life. Okay? So, alchemy. This is actually a Hermetic Rosicrucian science. This is the mental transmutation of attitudes. And so, one of the fundamental understandings that you can read about in the book named The Kabbalion, written by 3 initiates. This is initiation science in the mysteries of mankind. Okay? So, alchemy, the transmutation of attitudes. Nothing is good or bad, first of all. That's why good and bad are always relative to the individual's perspective, because this has to do with our observation, individuality. So nothing is good or bad until we choose to perceive them that way. When we see something, we say it's bad or we say it's good. But it's not good or bad on its own. And good and bad are actually the exact same thing. They vary in degree, but not type. The same thing with hot and cold, up and down, in or out, evil, darkness, light. They're always relative. That's why there's no exact figure when hot turns to cold or light turns to dark. It's always relative to the individual. It's always relative to the individual perspective, perception, point of view. Nothing is good or bad until we say it's bad or we say it's good. Nothing is hot or cold until we say it's cold or we say it's hot. And it has to do with the observer effect, okay? So when we learn the law of polarity, that these things vary in degree but not type, they're actually the exact same thing. There's an underlying unity in the law of polarity. And so when we learn to change our perspective and see the same obstacles and change our perspective and see them as opportunities, right? It literally turns darkness into light. And there is not a more practical, this is the science, actually, of raising our individual vibration. And alchemy, it's difficult for me personally to imagine ascension or awakening without the Hermetic Rosicrucian science of alchemy and our intellectual development, our evolution of our consciousness, developing the intellectual capacities to be able to become self-aware and recognize divinity in ourselves, right? And learning that it's our observation. We are what determines what is good and what is bad. And the reason that evil and good exist, duality exists, is so that mankind has free will, so that we can choose. Between necessity and freedom always resides the individual's will, somewhere between necessity and freedom. But so that mankind has free will, so that mankind can choose virtue over vice and prioritize how important is that to each individual, our moral obligation, you understand? And how important is it to vindicate what is holy and divine and good? And where does that fall for our individual? Because it's our choice. We have free will. We have the opportunity to do that. That's what inspired the rebellion in heaven. Lucifer, the light bearer, was cast onto the earth with man because they were created always to vindicate, to worship the Most High above all, God. But mankind has free will. It's our opportunity to worship and vindicate God. So it's important to understand about our perception, right? Like, we can't actually ever love another person, place, or thing as a human being. We can only love our perception of them, right? Like, you cannot even like another person. You can only like your perception of them. That's never actually who they are. You cannot dislike someone else. You can only dislike your perception of them. And that is never who they are. That's who they are to you. The individual, observation. Remember, anything is possible. There's infinite potentials until a thing is observed. Infinite potentials until observed, and anything is possible. So understanding these immutable universal laws and how we can apply them to raise our vibration, right, in ascension, and dare I say world peace. But these are things that will help people. That will only help people. So alchemy, in the book The Kabbalion, written by 3 initiates, will further elaborate and explain what I'm basically regurgitating right now, saying good and bad are actually the exact same thing. They vary in degree, but not type. There's an underlying unity, the first dimension. So